Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to understand how to raise tickets and what are the tickets we generally get in the project. Okay, so whenever user get any issues in the system, he has to or she has to raise a tickets. Okay, so user will have some issues, some requirement, they have to use the ticketing tool and they have to raise the tickets. So first point, user will have the requirement. Okay, that requirement, either any kind of errors or any new requirements, so they will have some requirement. Then they have to use some ticketing tools to raise the ticket. If you don't have much money, your client is not using any ticketing tool, then maybe they may send you email also. Okay, they may send you email also. I have seen few clients where they don't handle from the ticketing tool, they manage from the emails, so they may send you email. Okay, so either they'll use the ticketing tool to raise their concern, users raise to concerns, ticketing tool such as yes no, we say shortcut is no. Okay, is no means service now, yes means service now, remedy, okay, and many more. ADO means Microsoft Azure. Okay, then lot many ticketing tools are available, so user will be raising the ticketing tool from these tools. Okay, now, once they raise the ticketing tool, it reaches to some help desk people. Okay, so they raise the ticketing tool number like this. Let's say your ticket number is, let's say this is your ticket number. Then generally it goes to some help desk team and they segregate the tickets based on the nature of the tickets. If it is finance, it will go to finance team. If it is HR, it will go to HR team. If it is SD, it will go to SD team. Sometime two different, three different company may also be supporting to single client. Okay, so let's say there is one client called Patanjali, and even Deloitte is also supporting, IBM is also supporting, and your Accenture is also, let's say, supporting. Then it may that help desk person has to decide, either it will go to IBM or it will go to Deloitte. Then they will assign the tickets in their respective queue. Okay, so ultimately it will come to you, let's say. Okay, it came to your name, so ultimately it reaches to consultant. Okay, ultimately reaches to the consultant. Then generally, after working in multiple ticketing tool, I have seen few kind of tickets. First ticket is generally how to. Okay, the ticket category will be how to. Then another category is incident. Another category is change request. Okay. Then another category is service request. Another kind of ticket may be the problematic, and another kind of ticket may be the project. Okay, so depending on the scope of the project, sorry, the issue, or the depending the severity, time consuming, and lot of things, they have to raise the tickets. While raising the ticket, they have to choose either of these options. So in today class, I am going to focus on these three. Okay, another very famous ticketing tool is SAP IT Direct. This is also one of the ticketing tool. So today we are going to learn about this process: incident, change request and service request. Incident when there is very minor problem in the SAP, that time user has to raise the ticket as an incident. Let's say user doesn't have SC16N access and they want list of the customers. Okay, so they may request you to provide the list of the customers. So you can go in the SC16N and you can extract it and you can send to the users. Okay, so this is known as an incident. Similarly, they they want training on few things. Okay, let's say they are not understanding, so they need training, so you can provide them training. For this also they will raise an incident. Okay, similarly they they are entering few things or they are performing some activities in the system, they are getting some errors. Let's say they are doing the settlement, let's say they are doing internal order settlement, or they are posting on journal entries, or many things they are doing, they are getting some errors. Okay, so they will raise as a incident. While analyzing, if you feel that without making any modification in SAP, if you can fix that, you can fix as part of the incident. Okay, so any system error. But the moment you feel that the error which user is getting cannot be fixed, okay, it requires some changes in the SAP or some modification in the SAP, some creation in the SAP, some deletion, modification, anything in the SAP, that time you have to ask them to close the incident and create as a change request. Some tools will also allow to convert from incident to change request. So no need to close the incident. You can convert same incident as a change request also. Why we need to categorize as a incident, change request and service request? Based on the category of this, your company will be paid the money. So if for one incident if charge is $200, therefore change request charges may be $300. Okay, because change requests are quite time consuming, it is quite risky also. Let us now discuss about the change request. So again I'm telling, incident is very normal issues, okay, which doesn't require you to do much modification in the SAP and solve the issue. Change request means any new thing, either they're asking to create anything or they're asking to delete anything. Okay, or they're asking to modify anything. Okay, are they asking to change anything. Okay, so all this, Allah na kar raha hai matwa. So all this, if requirement is there, then you can ask them to create as a change request. So let's say they're asking you to create new plant, they're asking you to create new profit center, they're asking you to create uh, new terms of payment, they're asking you to create new asset class. Okay, let's say you have already developed some report, in that report they're asking you to add additional fields. Anything new where you feel that there will be the change or any new creation or any deletion or any modification, where you need to do the configuration. Okay, where you need to do the development, then you have to ask users to create as a change request, because change request is little risky and it is time consuming. Okay, now next is like your service request. So service request, not necessarily that it will always be created by the users, even consultant also has to create sometime. Okay, what, for what users will create service request? Let's say user want new user ID. Okay, or any new additional role assignment to their user ID. Okay, role assignment, they, let's say they don't have some access, they want a new role. role assignment. Okay, so for this kind of thing, you may ask user to create as a service request. Even you may also need to create this kind of, let's say you are working, your new team member has joined, so you have to raise the service request for your team members also to get the access. You need to create the service request for your team members. Let's say I'm a manager, and if any new team members is joining, then I also need to create. Okay, or let's say you want FFID access. Okay, let's say you want client opening. eh, from development you made some changes in the quality system, and you want quality system to be open. You want to do some manual activities for any client opening, also you need to create the service request. Let's say you have raised some ticket to the SAP, and SAP wants to access your SAP means your SAP company who fixes the issue. So you have raised some ticket to the SAP AG, and SAP AG wants to access your client system. That time also you have to create the service request to the base system saying that please give the connection to the SAP people. They want to access our SAP. They want to analyze the issue. So any uh, connection to SAP if you want to give. So for all this kind of thing, you have to create the service request. Okay, for all this kind of, you have to create the service request. So basically whenever you work in uh, any project, you have to do the you have to understand when users should create incident, when they have to create change request, and when they have to create the service request. If they are not creating in proper category, then you as a consultant need to guide them, because if you are not guiding them, ultimately it is loss for your company. Because if you are creating a new asset class which is requested as a part of incident, then it is loss for you. Okay, let's say for incident if it is $100, then for change request it may be rate will be $200. So you are missing here $100. That is one perspective. Another perspective is that for change request there are certain process you need to follow in order to deliver the request. Okay, in order to uh, in order to fix the requirement or fulfill the requirement, there are certain steps, certain procedure you need to follow. So let us see. One point obviously is a monetary thing, second is a procedural thing. So let us see the change request process. Change request process. Okay, so in change request, as I said, first of all user has to create the change request. Okay, create change request is created by the user, and there will be some number. Let's say slash cr, it generally start from cr. Okay, let's say this is the number they have created. Okay, then it will come to you. Let's say it came to you. Okay, assigned to finance group. Under the finance group, let's say it is assigned to you. Let's say it is assigned to me. Okay, now once it is assigned to me, I will get automatically notification. Okay, then I have to visit that that service, sorry, change request. I need to log in the ticketing tool, and I have to review this change request. User might have already explained what they need. They might have already attached some supporting document. Okay, I have to go through that tickets. If I understand, then I will start further process. If I don't understand, then I have to set up the meeting with the users to understand the requirement in more clear. Okay, sometime I may alone can understand the requirement, sometime I may need other team members also with me to understand the requirement. Reason being, if if the requirement is cross module related. Okay, let's say user asked me to build new interfaces. Okay, let's say user asked me to build a new kind of report where cross module involvement is required, then I need to bring the people also, SD people also, ABAPer also, integration team also, depending on the scope of the requirement. Okay, so we'll conduct the meeting together or myself alone, and we will understand the requirement. Okay, so third step is requirement gathering. Okay, third step is requirement gathering. Then fourth step is a solution designing. Okay, you need to start the designing the solution. Okay, you need to design the solution. As a part of the solution designing, if it is custom development requirement, then you have to prepare the FS. Okay, that is functional specification. Okay, if it also requires a configuration, then you have to also prepare the configuration document. Okay, so this kind of documentation you have to start preparing. Okay, once this document is prepared, you can send for the sign up. So first you need to get it reviewed by your manager, your SME, your COE, whoever is in your team. Ask them to review and sign up the solution. Once your internal team members, either your manager, it may be the getting sign up by manager. Some in some company there will be managers, some company there will be SME, subject matter expert, in some company there will be CY, center of excellence. Okay, it depends, but let's say senior people will be there who will be giving the sign up. They will review the solution, sometimes they'll suggest also, okay, the solution. Sometime during requirement discussion time you can bring these people also in the meeting, so they must be aware what is the requirement and what solution you are proposing, rather than rejecting at this stage. Okay, so somebody, at least senior people, will be reviewing them. Then it also, you should also get the sign up from the clients. Okay, so once you get all this sign up, then you have to start the build. Build means if it is development, start doing development. If it is configuration, then start doing configuration. Okay, once it is done, so you definitely will be doing the build in the development system, in the golden client. Okay, you will do the development in the golden client. Maybe golden client is 100. Okay, then once your ABAPer finish the build, if you are configuring, if you configure the requirement, then you have to move the changes to the unit testing client. Move the changes to unit testing client within the same development only. In the development system, unit testing client, that is 200, let's say. Okay, if your change is workbench related, then no need to move from 100 to 200, because if it is workbench, it will automatically be available from 100 to 200. You have to just do the testing. If it is customized request, then you have to move from T code SCC1. Okay, now here in this system you have to perform the unit testing. Okay, you have to perform the unit testing, and you have to take the proper proper before in fact doing the unit testing, you have to prepare the test cases. Okay, sometime you have to prepare the test cases also, and these test cases should be approved by client. Again, prepare test cases and get approved by seniors and client. Okay, because you need to tell them how you are going to test and what you are going to test. Okay, once they approve it, then many a time there will be some ticketing tool will also be there, or some testing tool will also be there. You can upload in that, let's say Q test, ADO. Okay, a lot of ticketing tools are there, or sorry, testing tools are ALM, so you can upload there. If you don't have that concept, preparing the test cases and getting approved by client, and then uploading in some testing tool, then it may not require. It depends again client to client. Okay, how sophisticated, how, what are the tools they are using. Okay, if you don't have that, then once you move the changes to unit testing client, you have to perform the unit testing. Perform consultant perform unit testing. Okay, once you do unit testing, then next, if everything is fine, if your development is very complicated, sometime in the unit testing time, we involve the business also, we involve the client also. I am testing this, I am getting this result, is it okay or not? Because getting the surprises from the client during the UAT, rather than that, you can bring the client during unit testing also. Okay, so you can ask your developer, or you can make the modification in the development itself. So if client agrees, you can bring them in the unit testing also. It is your responsibility, but you can still bring them. Okay, next you have to move from, everything is unit testing is fine. Okay, you taken the screenshot, you prepare the document. Okay, all the document you prepared as a proof. Then next is moving the your changes from development system to quality system. So for that, generally we say immediate transport movement, or let's say urgent transport movement, or less. I mean, there will be two kind of TR movement from development to quality. One, schedule date. So they will schedule the date that on every Friday, whatever development are done will be moved from development to quality system. So if your change or your configuration is not that critical, then you can wait until that day comes. If you feel that no, it is very critical, I need immediately to be moved into quality system, then you can initiate a urgent transport movement process. So whatever it is there, you have to follow one window. Okay, before moving from development to quality, in every company, in most of the company I have seen, there will be one meeting called cab. Okay, cab approval is required. Cab is nothing but change advisory board. Change advisory board. Okay, what is this cab? What is change advisory board? Change advisory board is a team who looks for your development, and they check all the parameters, either you're meeting or not, to move your changes from development to quality. What are the things they generally check? They check either unit testing is passed, all the document is uploaded, all the test cases are passed, client sign up is received, and many other things. Depends company to company. They will check something called code impact analysis. Okay, they will, whatever your developer has done the code changes, they will check the impact analysis. They will do, if it is not impactful, it should be in green. Okay, so many other things they will check, but at least your test cases should be successful, your unit testing should be successful, you should have the proper sign up. Okay, so all the documentation, this change advisory team, they check it. If they are okay, then only they will give the green signal for your transport request to move from development system to quality system. Then it will get moved from dev to quality. Okay, once it is moved dev to quality, then you have to, if there is any manual activities if you have to do, or cutover activities you have to do, let's say you have to maintain any set or any tables, any number ranges for your development, in case if it is required, then you have to perform the manual activities. Okay, once manual activities, any master data required, let's say, okay, in order to test your, in order to test your configuration or development, let's say you created on house bank. So uh, creating the house bank in S4 HANA, it is transportable and non-transportable both. Bank account master data completely non-transportable. Your bank is non-transportable. So if it is required you to do any manual activities, you must perform in the quality system. Okay, if everything is available, then you have to ask your business to perform the UAT. Business need to perform UAT. Okay, once they perform the UAT, if they find any bug, then they will raise the bug in that. Again, it depends, if you are using any ticketing tool, they will raise the bug in the ticketing tool itself. If you are following email method, they will send email saying that I'm getting bug. Then if it is fixed by functional consultant, they will fix. If not, then if it has to be fixed by ABAPer, they will fix. Anyhow you have to fix, and you have to move the changes from development to quality again. Okay, likewise from and to will keep on going until everything is okay. Okay, sometime at last moment, if UAT is not passing from the quality, it may not go to the production also. Okay, so it depends, UAT is very critical, either it will go to the production or not. If user give the sign off, okay, give, if UAT sign off you receive from user, then only you will move next step from quality to production. Okay, if you have got the UAT sign off, then you have to, you have to move the changes from quality to production. Okay, these days we are following charm tool to move the changes, so it is very easy to move the changes from one system to another system. No need to send much email to the basis team. Okay, so depending on the charm status, they easily get to know which are the TRs they have to move from one system to another system. If if you if if you feel that no, you have to send email, then you can send email also to the basis team, you can ping them, you can chat with them, but make sure that your changes move from quality to production. Again, as I said, if there is any manual activities again or any cutover activities, you have to perform again in the production system also related to your development. Okay, manual activities. Okay, so this is the whole process. This is very generic process I have explained, but most of the company will follow same process for for their change request. Okay, so this is the process every company generally follow if there is any requirement for the change request. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. Thanks a lot.